Hello, my name is Hamid Baheri, the Strategic Manager of KLN Group. If you are a nurse and would like to pursue your career in Germany, this video is right for you. It's going to be a long video, but we highly advise to watch it from the beginning to the end to show all the steps, all the documents required, from point zero all the way to have your license to work as a nurse in Germany. Perfect. Let's have a start. A company in Germany called Meine Agentur 24 was started in 2004, founded by Mr. Mohammed Baheri. The company is specialized in recruiting medical staff as a doctor, dentist, pharmacist, or nurses in Germany, training you and employing you in Germany. Due to the huge demand for nurses in Germany, the company decided to start a new company called Careland back in 2018, with the same founder of Meine Agentur being the same founder of Careland, among other shareholders. The company is specialized in recruiting and training nurses to be employed in Germany from different countries around the world. All right, we have two questions now. Number one, is there a real demand for nurses in Germany? Number two, why do we pick Careland as our service provider in something like this? Okay, let me start with the first question. Let's go. If we go to this website of a very popular magazine, newspaper, in Germany called General Anzeiger, it's talking about the shortage of nurses in Germany. Let's read together the sentence, please. The situation can be called serious. The German Nursing Council predicts that by 2030, there will be a shortage of 300,000 nursing staff in Germany. It's a big number. 300,000 shortage by 2030, and the gap is actually widening, not shrinking. So we're expecting actually more than that by 2030. So yes, sir, yes, ma'am, there is a real demand for nursing in Germany. The second question is, why should we rely on Meine Agentur or Careland for something like this? Yes, we have been in existence for 17 years, specializing in this process, but give us more reasons for us. Okay, I can tell you that there are three reasons combined that make Meine Agentur and Careland the only companies around the world that have these three factors combined. Number one, the 17 years of experience that we said, specializing in the recruitment of medical staff, particularly in Germany. Number two, within Meine Agentur and Careland, we operate in the whole verticals, all the verticals of the process from A to Z, from the moment of starting the language, and then finalizing your documents, translation, authentication in your country and in Germany, finalizing the visa processing and all the documents required, and then flying to Germany, you start the adaptation program, and then we employ you in one of the medical facilities in Germany, and then even the post-employment service that we provide. So having all of these verticals under one brand is extremely important for our nurses. Why? Because we are never seen as an agent to another company. So this whole process could have 2, 3 agents working together. So I am going to train the language, then I'm going to pass it on to you to do the documents, then I'm going to pass it on to you to do the adaptation, then the recruitment, etc. So we are never working as agents. We are the same company, the same brand working in different countries around the world. So we have the headquarters in Germany, and then we have operating branches in different countries around the world. So we're operating in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Morocco, in Sub-Saharan Africa, in India, in Pakistan, in Philippines, and in many other countries, and they are expanding rapidly. Brilliant. So number one, we are talking about the 17 years of experience. Number two, we have all the verticals under one brand. And then the third reason is operating in different countries around the world. Having these three reasons together make it the only company in the world that have this kind of status. Brilliant. However, we would like to see a material evidence that you really have done a great job over the past 17 years. Yes, we have recruited over 4,000 medical staff from doctors, nurses, dentists, and pharmacists and nurses. But there is a more objective, actually, evidence that we can show you. The Doctor Syndicate in Germany, this is the website of the Doctor Syndicate in the state of Saxony in Germany. So you can go through it yourself and you can read in this website. The medical syndicate in Sachsen mentioned that the one company that they are recommending, the top company that they are recommending for any relocation services, which means that you are in another country and would like to relocate to Germany, is Agentur. So if I show you, if we scroll a little bit down, here it is saying, what about the relocation services? This is the #1 company that we are actually recommending. Okay. So we are in front of the following. This is a company that is very specialized for a very long period of time, and the evidence of its great service is showing itself. Brilliant. Go ahead, move, and explain to us the process, please. Here is the process. I always say that there are 5 things that if you have, you are going to have a successful career in Germany as a nurse. #1, language. #2, language. #3, language. #4, your technical skills in nursing. And #5 is simply your attitude and how good you are as a person. You are an honest person or a liar. You are a person that people can rely upon or not. So very clearly what I said at the beginning, your German language is the on top of the list. The top 3 factors that will make you successful in Germany as a nurse is your German language. And for that reason, for that particular reason, KLN made a strategic decision to open its offices in different countries around the world in order to ensure that the starting point of the process is fully controlled by Agentur itself, by KLN itself. All right. So for the sake of nursing, we say KLN. So with regard to the language, we have 4 levels of German language. We have A1, A2, B1, B2. Or as we say it in German, A1, A2, B1, B2. For many countries around the world, the minimum level for you to apply for the visa is the B1, B1. That's the level that is required by so many countries around the world. So many consulates, German consulates around the world, they are requiring as a minimum level the B1. However, we recommend and we stress on having the level of B2 before you travel to Germany. Why is that the case? Because when you go to Germany, you don't have the luxury of having a lot of months to prepare yourself and expand in your German language before you start the training program. So once you arrive, you are going to talk about a week, then you are going to start your training. So this gap is not going to enhance you. And once you start with the training program, having the B1 level is not that enough for you to really fully understand and communicate with your colleagues, with your teachers, and go through the training program in Germany. So the B2 is not only recommended. For us, the B2 level is a must for you to join this training program in this case. And in many states in Germany, they require you to have the B2 before you even get the license as a registered nurse. So to be a registered nurse in many states in Germany, they require you to have the B2 certificate. So in any case, you are required for the B2 certificate. So start it in your own country before you even travel to Germany. Okay. The process from the beginning to the end takes about a year, give or take a year. Once you take the B1, the B1, you are talking about 3 to 4 months before you travel to Germany. So take advantage of these number of months to finalize your B2 level. This period will be greatly utilized. The idea is for you to study the German language. Even the night before your departure, you are still studying towards your B2 level. All right. So as you can see, we stress a lot on the German language. And one of the strategic reasons why KLN is opening branches all over the world is to ensure the excellency in the German language level. Okay. Do you provide this in KLN? Yes. Yes, we do provide all the way from A1 to B2. We have the normal courses and we have also the intensive courses. You can visit our websites, contact us by email, WhatsApp, call us, and we are going to give you the details in your own countries. We have the on-site and we have also the online. We have on-site courses and online courses. Okay. Now, But we have a question here. There are so many institutions that provide German language education. Some of them are very well known and global in perspective, like Goethe Institute, for example. So what's the difference between you teaching the German language and Goethe Institute teaching the German language? I want you to understand that there is a difference in the perspective that Goethe Institute is teaching its students while Caroland is teaching its nurses. When you are a student in Goethe Institute, whether you are good or bad, it's good or bad for you. Goethe Institute is not going to do something after the process of educating you. But for us, it's completely different perspective. We are educating you because each and every student sitting in a German class is going to be a nurse in Germany under the same brand, which is a huge difference. We are never seen as an agent. We are not an agent to another company. We are principals from the beginning all the way to the end. So we can never allow you to go to the next level if your German language is really bad, for example. Okay, this will never happen. Okay, so that difference in perspective is pushing us to make each and every candidate in front of us excel in the German language. How do we do that? 5 things. 5 extra features that you will see us in our training programs that you will not see it in Goethe Institute, for example. Number 1, there is actually an exam in each and every lesson. In each and every lesson from A1 all the way to B2, you have an exam in each and every lesson. When you come, the exam time will be standard 15 minutes. In the quarter of the program, the exam will be 45 minutes. So you have 12 lessons, practically speaking, in every level. So after the third class or the third chapter, you are going to have an exam. The exam will be bigger. It will be about 45 to 1 hour exam. In the middle of the class, it's going to be about 2 hours exam. By the end of the 12th chapter is going to be 4 hours exam. So that idea of pushing you each and every lesson is, of course, for a reason, to keep pushing you all the time. So it's going to be a built-up process, but we don't want you to fall behind. So that's why we keep on putting the pressure on you for an entire year. So if you are really somebody who cannot take the pressure for an entire year, that would be a problem. So you have to know that once you enter the German language education, you are going to be a nurse. As a nurse, you cannot go there with a substandard German language. You are going to be dealing with patients, with doctors, with the staff. There is no room for you to have poor German language in this position, of course. Okay, so that is the first difference, that we are pushing you so much. Second difference, in order for you to qualify for the B1, there are 3 organizations who are accepted as issuing organization of certifications to be accepted in any German consulate around the world. Namely, they are the Goethe, Telk, and USD. These are the 3 organizations that can issue you the certificates that you can utilize in any German consulate around the world. In order for you to pass, typically speaking, they are asking you for a minimum score of 65% in the 4 skills. What are the 4 skills? Reading, writing, and listening and speaking. So the minimum level is 65%. For our pass to go from A1 to A2, for example, you need to have a minimum of 80%. So if you score in the final exam 79%, we'll ask you to rewrite the exam one more time. If you score 79%, we'll ask you to rewrite the exam one more time until you score the minimum threshold of 80%. Why are we doing this? This will increase tremendously your chance of passing the 65% minimum level, whether you are talking about Telk or Goethe or USD. Okay, so that's another difference as well. You see, the perspective of pushing you to get to excel in the language is really behind all our thinking and our decisions in how we are going to approach the German language with you guys. So as an example, the last A1 exam that we have conducted, the minimum score was 88% and the high score was 99.25%. So that's the minimum level that we are talking about. So the minimum level is not 65%. The minimum level that we are talking about is 88%. Okay, that's another big difference between us and other training organizations. Third reason, The third reason that we have to say that we are different from Goethe Institute, for example, is the fact that we have our own material. In addition to the standard textbooks that are used in all German language training centers around the world. So we have our own extra, you can say it, extra curriculum that we have crafted ourselves in order for us to always trigger your five senses or four skills, I mean, the reading, the writing, the speaking, and the hearing. So at the beginning, you are going to see some cartoon movies, small stories, things like that. Then they are going to develop with you as you go along. So we are going to make you live in a world of German language for an entire year. That's 100% necessary. That's 100% required in order for you to reach the level that we request in order to get into Germany, meeting the language requirements that they are expecting. Okay. The other reason why we are different, for example, or ways we are doing and approaching this differently. In the higher levels of B1 and B2, here is B1 and here is B2, we are going to conduct two other training programs that we are really very proud of. Number one is the integration program. Integration program. And what do you mean by the integration program? Integration means the following. You are not going to go to Germany as a tourist. You are going to go there as an employee, looking forward to possibly relocate there for a long period of time. So you need to understand the nature of the German people, how they laugh, what drives them mad, and things that German people would like to see in the people that they are interacting with. Not only about the German person himself or herself, but also bits about the history, bits about the economy, bits about the politics. So you might feel that this is something that's extra, maybe not necessary. It's a huge outcry, actually political outcry in Germany, that the people coming to Germany not necessarily integrated within the German society. So we are not taking it lightly. We are actually pushing towards the integration program to be an inherent part of our programs in conducting the language even before you travel. That relieves a lot of stress from you guys. Because you are approaching Germany now knowing what you are expecting and seeing. You want to go and start integrating with the people that you have learned about and the history and the politics and the economy, etc. Okay, so we are proud of this integration program. We have employed a brilliant lady in Germany that's responsible only for the integration. She is conducting the integration program, and we are so proud of her work, really. The second program that we are also so proud of is Life of a Foreign Nurse in Germany. So one of the nurses that conducted the program, the training program with us, they flew to Germany, they have the adaptation program with us, and they ended up finding a job based on our recommendation. They are going to educate and train their fellow colleagues before they actually travel to Germany. How do we do it in Germany, and how you might be doing it in your own local hospitals? How do you interact with doctors and medical staff and management here compared to what you have it there? Even some personal issues that you have faced in schools, in hospitals, in the supermarket. He is talking about his own life in Germany, whether the technical life in hospitals or what happened during the adaptation program, etc., or his own personal life. You have no idea how famous this program in our classes, and the people are so eager because they simply say, if you could make it, I can make it as well. That's the what we really the kind of atmosphere that we would like to prevail within our classes. Okay, so that's also a big difference between an organization like Goethe Institute and what we do in Köln. Okay, so number one, we said that there is a difference between us and them in terms of the scoring, like we're pushing the limit to 80%. We have an exam after each and every lesson. We have two programs that we are so proud of, namely the integration and life of a nurse. Okay, and we have our own curriculum. Don't forget that we have our own extra curriculum. The last thing that we do differently as well is that in each and every program, and each and every level, there are at least 2 outings for our staff, for our students. So we are going to take you out with your teacher, speak about a certain particular topic, and this topic is, like for example, you are going to the garden, we are going one of the gardens, we are going to the beach, and we agree that this is the topic. You are going to prepare yourself before the outing, and that will stimulate the 4 skills that we said again. So these points, because we understand the kind of language that should be the end result, how it should be. And that's what we work and strive to achieve as well. Okay, so as I am stressing, language is the first 3 reasons why you are going to succeed in Germany. And going back to our article that we spoke about in the General Anzeiger, if we read what these guys are saying here with regard to the German language, let me read it for you guys. If you read here, we are just as open to nursing staff from abroad as long as they meet the language requirements. That's one of the nursing heads in one hospital mentioned. So you can see it, practically speaking, that the language is the biggest barrier between you and succeeding in your career in Germany. All right, perfect. So that is the first very important point, which is the German language and how we can assist you there. And that is an inherent part of your success in all the future steps. Next point. Now, as early as the start in A1 at the beginning, we will start asking you for your documents. We have a part of our teams called the operations team. These guys are going to be in direct contact with you guys in order for you to start preparing some of the documents that will be required for you to be submitted inside in your local country and in Germany as well. So they will tell you exactly what documents should be prepared, etc. These documents, they will be translated under our command, and then will be also authenticated with our guidance of how to do these steps ourselves. All right, we have our official translators in different countries, in different languages, I mean. They are going to be based in Germany most of the time, and they will be translated in Germany in order for you to start applying for you in Germany. One of the most important documents and that must be issued on your behalf is a document that comes out of an organization called KSV in Germany. It's called Defizitbescheid. Defizitbescheid. What is the meaning of Defizitbescheid? It's simply the deficit letter. And what do you mean by the deficit letter? You have studied that many hours, for example, in different topics as far as nursing is concerned. And in Germany, they're expecting that many number of hours. So that deficit in some of the topics will constitute the deficit letter, basically. So that Defizitbescheid is a document issued by the KSV. Without this, you cannot actually travel to Germany. You cannot without this document. So this document will guarantee 2 things. Number 1, we are going to book you a seat in a nursing school for you to conduct the adaptation program in order for you to become a nurse. And the second thing is for you for the visa issuance in your home country. Okay, the German with one of the German consulates in your own home country. So that's a very, very important document, and it's actually a reason for you to celebrate once you receive it, because the only other big document that you need in order for you to start applying for the German visa to go to Germany is the B1 certificate. Okay. So in order for you to apply for the visa, how many documents that you have in the box? Number 1 is the B1. That's the first one. That's your responsibility. And that's we are going to be guiding you on this 100%, as we said. The second one is the Defizitbescheid, which we are going to issue on your behalf. The third one is the employment contract. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. You are going to have your employment contract before you leave your own country. So what do you mean by this? All of your benefits, everything related to your responsibilities, all what you are going to expect in an employment contract, you are going to see it before you travel. And this is a necessary document that should be applied, should be submitted to the consulate, German consulate in your home country. Some other documents is the rent contract, for example. Rent contract. So this is also something that we are going to arrange with our operations team in Germany. They are going to find a suitable location for you that's in close proximity to the nursing school, that is that's not very expensive. We recommend it to be 100% furnished before you travel as a temporary solution. Once you travel there, if you'd like to get another location and you furnish it yourself, that's absolutely possible. But at the beginning, we don't want the big hassles that you are going to a new country, getting into some language issues, and getting into the school and meeting some new people. Then you end up trying to get a whole apartment furnished and all of that. That's too much hassle for you. So once you settle down after a couple of months, you can start finding a new location with your own preference, and you can move your residence, for example. Okay. Another document is that the employment body in Germany, they don't mind you coming to Germany to be an assistant nurse for the duration of the program before your final status of being a nurse after the adaptation program. So that employment agency in Germany, the no objection of the employment agency, no objection from the employment agency for you to come. And then we have the approval from the nursing school for you to come and join their adaptation program. So you also need it for the visa preparation. So if you think about it, only one document you are actually responsible of, which is the B1. All the other documents are our responsibility. We are going to issue the Defizit Bescheid. We'll get you the employment contract, rent contract, employment agency approval, and the nursing school approval. The nursing school will come with all of the curriculum that you are going to study and the number of hours in each and every curriculum. It's a full pack of documents that you are going to receive. That will be important for you to start applying for the visa. Okay. Now, with regard to our cost, of course, you are going to visit our website with regard to the language, but with regard to all of the other costs that you will have afterwards, it's very, very, very transparent with you guys. What do you mean very transparent? That you are going to be charged only, I repeat again, only when the service is due and you are going to pay it directly. What do you mean by this? Like, for example, the Defizit Bescheid. It costs about 170 euros. Not paid to us, it's paid straight to the KSV, the organization, the governmental organization that will issue the Defizit Bescheid. So you are going to be given the invoice and you are going to be asked, please pay it directly to the KSV. So we are that transparent. We are not going to charge a big lump sum amount of a huge amount, pay it to us, and then we're going to finish. We are not going to be transparent in this case. So rather, let's be transparent with our clients. Whatever needs to be paid, we are going to be transparent with you guys. By the way, this document takes about 2 to 3 months. Because of the corona, it takes now between 4 to 5 months to be issued. And that's why we need to start preparation of this document as early as possible in order for you, by the time you are finishing the B1, you have your documents lined up, including the Defizit Bescheid, which is a very, very important document in your journey going to Germany. Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent. So that is with regard to the document, and now we get the visa. Our approval rate for the visa, globally speaking, is 100%. Once you have all of these documents, there is no reason at all why a consulate, German consulate, will deny your visa. We have 100% track record in terms of the visa. Before you actually go to the visa, we're going to have an individualized sort of training of how to prepare your documents and how to answer the questions in the right way and what's the purpose of your travel, etc., etc., etc. You're not going there as a tourist. You're going there as an employee, fulfilling a certain requirements and going to Germany accordingly. Okay, that is lovely. Next. Now you got the visa, and after you get the visa, you are working very hard towards your B2 level, as we agreed. It's extremely important. You will see me stressing on the language day in, day out. All the time, you'll see me stressing on the language. It is the language and the minimum score, the minimum level that you have in B2 is what's going to guarantee your excellent start in Germany once you arrive there. And if you don't believe me, ask any of the nurses that travel and ask them, if I go to with B1 or go with B2 level to Germany, does it make any difference or it's going to be okay? All right? You will see them always saying, of course, come with the B2. I struggled a lot because I came with the B1 only. So going to Germany with the B2 is a necessity in order for you to start having a good career in Germany once you arrive. Brilliant. Okay, cool. Move on. Now you have arrived in Germany. You are in Germany and you have arrived there. What will happen? Our operations team are going to welcome you in the airport or in the railway station after the agreed upon time. That's the time that I'm going to arrive. And the guys, they are going to take you. They are going to show you around. They will take you for a couple of days of touring in order for you to release that stress that you have going to a new country, a new location. We do this a lot. We take care of your level of stress a lot because we know that it will negatively affect your start of the career. So based on our experience, we have to melt this iceberg of fear between you and going to that new life. And we crafted our way there. So no panic. You are going to be in very good hands once you arrive there. Our operations service will also, operation personnel will also take you to your residence. They will show you around the nearest bank, how to open a bank account, the nearest supermarket, nearest police station, etc., etc. How to have your life started in Germany. And this service from the operations team is going to last 2 years from the date that you arrive. Count 2 years. We are going to continue serving you with any questions that you might have. You can call them, email them, or go and visit our branches there in Germany, and you are going to be welcomed 100% of the time with any of your questions. Okay, awesome. Carry on. Once you arrive within a week or two maximum, you are going to start your adaptation program. Adaptation program. We call it in Germany Anpassungsmaßnahme. Adaptation program, or we call it Anpassungsmaßnahme in German language. The adaptation program is going to last for 10 months, or what we say up to 10 months. 10 months. And this adaptation program is divided in 2 parts. The first part is 4 months. That's the theoretical part. It's a classroom. And then we have the 6 months. This is practical, which is going to be based in a hospital. All right. So the theoretical discussion, the theoretical training, is a mandatory part of the program. You have to attend the full 4 months. Now, with regard to the 6 months program, it's up to you and your level. What do you mean up to me and my level? If your German language is excellent, if your information in nursing is excellent before you arrive, and it has been proven that you have excellent expertise and excellent knowledge in nursing, so maybe you need only 1 month here and you are out of the program. You are a registered nurse already. Let's talk about the license now. No. I need 2 months. You can stay. I need 3 months, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 months of practical work that you can stay there. So that's why we say it's up to 10 months. So what does it mean now? I don't want you to be fooled by having a training program that is less and you need actually more. That's our biggest worry. I always give the example of this as an incubator for an infant. So if you are an infant and you really need the incubator and you need to stay there, I cannot take you out. You have to stay there in the incubator. You only go out of the incubator if you don't need to be in the incubator anymore. Then we can release you out. Exactly the same story. If your language skills, if your nursing needs still more time to develop, you can stay there. All right? So it's up to you and up to your level to stay or to exit out of the program based on your level of knowledge in German language and nursing knowledge as well. Okay. Then you are out of the program, and when you are out of the program, is there an exam here? Like if I finish after 6 months, 7 months, 9 months, or at the end? No. There is only an interview. An interview. What do you mean by this? There is no formal examination and true false and all of that. No, it's just an interview. Your supervisor is going to be there, and an external examiner are going to interview for, let's say, a couple of hours. If this patient has this, has that, then what will happen? So then by the end of this interview, they are going to accept you as a registered nurse. registered nurse, and you are now licensed to operate as a full-time nurse. So your job position during the adaptation program is assistant nurse. Assistant nurse. That's your job position during the adaptation program. And that's your advantage, by the way. Why is that? Because if you make any technical mistake, it's not your mistake, actually. It's the mistake of your supervisor, because he is the one who is supposedly to supervise you. So if you have made this mistake, it's in his record, not in your record. And that's your big advantage. But once you graduate already, it's your mistake. So that's why the adaptation program is very important, at least for you to know the legal issues surrounding your nursing career, all right? And there are a lot of examples that the people did not understand that this is allowed or not allowed in Germany, and they commit these mistakes as a registered nurse, and they feel the pain that they didn't last in the adaptation program up to their level, all right? So what happens if during the adaptation program you are actually poor? Your performance is poor, your language is poor, you don't understand, etc. So what will happen? They can actually kick you out of the program. Yes, that's a reality. It happened with us in June last year, that one of our students unfortunately was kicked out from the program. Kicking somebody out of the program is a huge mess now. So what will happen with this person now? You have 6 months. If you cannot find a job, you are blacklisted and you have to leave the European Union. If you don't leave the European Union, you are blacklisted and the police is searching for you. It's a huge mess. All right. However, the pass rate for us in the interviews is 100%. 100%. We still had this case that somebody went out. And actually, because of this case, we made the strategic decision that we are going to be controlling our language ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So that is the strategic decision that came after this person went out. So we made the decision that we have to control our own German language education. All right. And for that reason, we started all of the KLM branches all over the world. So we have now 100% pass rate in two things, in the visa and in the interviews. 100% pass rate. We didn't have any single nurse that didn't pass the interviews. So for sure, you are going to go out of it. And they know already if you are going to pass or not. They have been looking at your work for a full 10-month period. So if they have any reason to kick you out, they would have kicked you out before the end of the program. All right? That's brilliant. Talk to us about the money now. I don't have enough money for me to survive during these 10 months. So what will happen now? During this 10-month adaptation program, number one, the adaptation program is for free. You don't pay anything for the adaptation program. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Not only that, but also you are going to receive a salary during the adaptation program. Even though you are not working yet, you are still in the training program, you are going to receive a salary. And how much is the salary? 2,065 euros before tax. After tax, you are talking, roughly speaking, 1,400 euros. It will vary based on your status, but give or take, 1,400 euros. Is this amount enough for us to survive, enough for me to survive as a bachelor, for example, in Germany? The answer is yes. I cannot bring my family here during the adaptation program. I can start after I emerge as a full-time nurse. But is this amount enough for me as a person only in Germany? The answer is yes. For you to survive in Germany as a bachelor, you just need 800 euros. Roughly speaking. 800 euros, that will be enough for your accommodation, for your transportation. You need this book, you need this restaurant sometime. I'm not saying that you are spending all of your days and nights in 5-star hotels, but leading a normal life as a student, you are going to have enough to pay for $800. 800 euros is excellent enough for you. So you can save up to 600 euros or even more from the first month of you being in Germany. So that is an enough amount for you to survive, and you are going to be earning 1,400 net after paying the tax. Your employer is going to pay you 2,065, he will pay the taxes, but he's going to pay an additional 400, that's his share of the taxation. So the total cost to the hospital that's employing you is, roughly speaking, 2,500 euros from the first month of operation. Now, so you are going to get 2,065, they will pay their share in the taxation. 1,400 euros is going to be the net amount, and it's going to be enough for you. But what about being a registered nurse? If I am a registered nurse now, how much will I be expecting to be getting? The average amount is roughly speaking 3,000 euros. Why are you saying 3,000 euros is the average? Because it can go as low as 2,700 euros and it can go all the way to 3,500 and even 4,000 euros. But that's a big spectrum now. What controls this spectrum? Two factors. Number one, your years of experience before you came to Germany. So if somebody tells me that he has 15 years experience, for example, it will be different from somebody who is still just a fresh grad from a nursing school. Okay? So that will push you towards this level or towards this level. The second reason that will determine your salary after the adaptation program, after being a registered nurse, is your specialization in nursing, actually. So what's your specialization now? If you are a cardiology nurse, gynecology, neurology, in operation, surgery, or what is your or psychiatric nurse? I don't want to list certain specializations that earn a big amount and others not, but we require all spectrum of nurses. But if you come with certain specialization, that will push you towards the higher level amount. Okay, so that is the salary which will be enough for you. Only during this time, after being a registered nurse, we can start the process of family reunion with you guys. So that's one of the main reasons why our students come back to our operations team. They say, okay, I want to get my family now. Can you help me, please? They will direct you fully of the documents that you need to fill, the organizations that you need to visit, fill this one, pay this number, amount, and then within 2-3 months, your family is going to be there with you, residence with you in Germany. Family means the spouse, the wife or the husband, and the kids. Family doesn't mean father, mother, sister, brother. This is not family. They can visit you, but they cannot reside in Germany based on that status. Okay, so family is the spouse and the kids. All right. Once they arrive in Germany, they are residents. Within 5 years, you guys are going to be permanent residents, and within 7 years, you are going to get the passport. And it's highly recommended for your spouse to come with a minimum level of A1, including your spouse and any kids over the age of 12. If your kids are less than 12, it's fine. Don't panic about having the German language, but A1 is important for the spouse and any kid over the age of 12 years. Once they arrive, education is 100% for free, and health is also 100% for free. You are going to get world-class facilities. Don't panic if your kid doesn't know any word in German language yet, because once they go to a school, a teacher is going to be responsible for your child for a full entire year in order to adapt them so that in the next year, they are going to be full within their classes. All right? You see how the great services from world-class country, because they see you having a very important job for our country, and that's the least that we can offer you, for example, for your kids and getting best education for your kids. All right? That is great. That's wonderful. And now you are with your family and you are growing. One aspect about the post-employment service that we provide as well is the specialization. What if you want to be a specialist in certain field in surgery or cardiology or neurology, gynecology, etc. So how do you specialize? Typically speaking, in Germany, you have to wait for 2 years to start specializing, all right? 2 years as a general nurse. Then after that, you can specialize for an additional 2 years. So that's the year of specialization. So you need to be a general nurse for 2 years, then you spend 2 years of specialization. Based on our context and the great school and the great hospitals that we deal with, we can shrink the general period to be only 6 months. So you are working now as a full-time nurse, as a registered nurse. You got your license here already. So that's post the adaptation program. So after 6 months, you can start your specialization. And you are going to spend 2 years, for example, specializing in nursing for cardiology, for example. And then your salary is going to have a multiple increase after being a specialist nurse in nursing. Also, we are going to help you with this. We are never the hit and run company. So we never hit and then we run away, you would not find us. We are always there backing you in Germany and in your own local countries in terms of assistance as far as your personal life is concerned and your technical expertise and progress in your career is concerned. So now we have done our part. When it comes to cost, as I told you, it's very, very, very transparent. You are going to be paying for the education before you travel to Germany, all right? Whether online or on-site. Call us, contact us, email us within your country to tell you the cost that you are going to be charged there. During the adaptation program, there is no fees at all. But now, KLN Germany didn't get its employment service fee. So the employment service fee is going to start only when you are a registered nurse. So after you qualify to be a registered nurse after the adaptation program, our charge is only 2,500 euros, which is typically less than even 1 month of salary. That can be paid in 10 installments of 250 times 10. We didn't have any complaint about this at all. Actually, people always tell us that the service that we had from you outweighs in a number of fold the cost that you have charged us. So that cost is the only cost that we are going to charge you during after the employment for the employment service. All right, perfect, excellent. So it's very transparent and very clear. The second point that I would like to raise now here is to sum it up now. So we have at the beginning the training, then we have all of the document stage with our operations in your local country that have to be finalized. Then we have the stage of the visa and applying for the visa. Then the stage of the adaptation program and what happens there. Then the registered nurse and even the specialization post the getting the license. All right. The most important cornerstone of your success is your language. That's what I started with by saying language, language, language. These are the first 3 reasons why you are going to succeed in Germany. Then your technical expertise in nursing. And then finally, your attitude and how great you are as a person, how likable you are as a person, whether you are an honest person or a liar, etc. So that's also very important cornerstone for you. You could see it themselves telling you that the language requirement is the main reason why you are going to come or not to come to Germany. I would like to mention one other very, very important point as well. What is the other point that I would like to mention? If you remember, during the 10-month adaptation program, you are getting a salary. Where are you getting your salary from? You're getting your salary from a hospital. So let's say the hospital is called ABC Hospital. All right? So that ABC Hospital is telling you that we are going to charge you, we are going to pay you, 265 during the adaptation plus the 400 that they pay. So roughly speaking, 2,500 that they are paying you each and every month. So time 10 months, that's about 25,000 euros. So I would tell you something that we are proud to be the only company in Germany that's operating like this. What is the story? Typically speaking in Germany, if ABC is going to pay the cost here, and it is the company that sent you the employment contract, remember, for you to apply for the visa before you came to Germany. So typically, we request you to work for this hospital for a minimum of 2 years period. Minimum of 2 years period, you have to work for this hospital. So you might think that this is okay because they have done their part, they have given me the contract, they have paid during my training program, and I got the training program for free actually as well. So it's fair for me to operate for this company, to work for this company for 2 years as an absolute minimum. And then afterwards I can go to anywhere else if I want. So what do we say in Kellen? We say no. No. In order for you to say that these people have to work for you, that's not accepted. Why? Why do we do this? Because we always consider our nurses to be the kings and the queens. If they are meeting the criteria of being a queen and a king from the language, the technical skills, and the attitude, so they have to be treated as a king and queen. And king and queen cannot be, excuse my word, cannot be a slave here in this case, working for you for a full 2 years period, mandatory period that they have to work there. Instead, If they want to go to work for another hospital, XYZ hospital, for example, they have the choice to be so. So you might ask me now, but ABC is going to be angry from you because the people are going to work, go out of it. Actually, we want the respect of ABC company. Why? Because we told them, if you want the nurse to remain working with you, you have to give good working conditions for these kings and queens coming to work for you. We truly consider them as kings and queens. And that's what Mr. Mohammed Bahiri always says, that our clients are our kings and our queens. So we are expecting our hospitals to deal with them in the same way. So if you would like to encourage the nurse to operate and work with you for a period of 2 years or even more, you have to show them that you are actually an excellent employer. All right. However, our stance is we highly recommend you to stay a good period of time before you get used to the country. All right. What do you mean by this? There are certain cities and locations in Germany that are more favorable to foreigners and expats compared to others. That's a known fact. So we are always going to recommend for you the best hospitals in the best locations that are giving you the best service. All right? And at the same time, not very costly at the beginning, because we understand that your salary is not going to be that big at the beginning. So we need you to have your first starting point in your career in Germany to start with a level that's not very expensive. All right, so that really makes sense. After you specialize, then you can really decide. After you specialize, then you can go around. But if you would like to start in a big city in Germany from the first day that you arrive there, even though it's nicely looking, but it will put a lot of financial burden on you. A lot of financial burden on you. So based on our expertise for 17 years, we don't want to put our people in this jeopardy now of the mess of not meeting financial requirements, and then I have the German language, so it will be a big mess. So after you settle down for 2 years, now you understand the country, you can point your finger anywhere in the German map, we are going to assist you. If you'd like to stay in ABC, you can. If you'd like to go to XYZ, you can. If you want to go to anywhere in Germany, we will still assist you with absolute pleasure, as we kept on saying. All right. So we are really, really proud to say that we are the only operating company in Germany that has this clause that gives the optionality to our nurses, and we are not forcing them to work for a company A or B or XYZ or whatever. All right? Excellent. So now, you could see the huge emphasis that we have on the language issues. You understood that we have big operations team in your local countries and in Germany. We require you guys to have full workload done in the German language before you travel. Please. I would like to conclude by saying, it's a saying that rings in my ears all the time from a football player, American football player. He said that in your life, in your career, you are going to face a lot of obstacles. Don't be one of them. So you yourself, you can be an obstacle against yourself. If you are lazy, if you don't do the work, if you don't have that aspirations to grow and see the world and improve yourself and improve the status of your family, so you are the obstacle actually. You are the main obstacle. You see what I'm saying? So here, they are going to pay for your training and they are going to pay your salary, etc. So the only excuse is that you didn't do the work or you did the work, particularly in the German language. Particularly in the German language. Then after that, it's all the problems are going to be solved. We would like to welcome you in our offices. Send us an email. Call us. You are going to see the contact details in the description of this video. So please call us anytime. Send us email. Send an inquiry in our Facebook page. And we will be more than happy to assist you with all your queries. Thank you so much. And I am looking forward to welcoming you in Germany. My name is Hamid Bahiri, the head of strategy in Cairns Group. Thank you very much. Goodbye.